So I did a little short video about how I keep my livestock dogs from jumping through gates, or at least the gates that I don't want them to jump through. All right, so livestock dogs I don't like to have in the house yard. And I got all these gates with wire that are wire filled, but the top section is usually not closed, or is not closed, so they can slide right through there to jump in the yard to chase another dog. Here's why I said I have a female dog that was not fixed previously, and one of them got through and mated, and we had a bunch of puppies that we ended up adopting out. But what I learned is, or at least how I fixed the problem, is I had some of this geo mesh, usually used to keep ground from slipping, or it's also similar to the stuff you see on construction sites that's usually orange to keep people out of the area. So they can't jump through that, but they could still, they really put effort into it, could jump over the gate to get in the yard. So after I put the mesh in, I went to the next thing. So since I got a lot of electric fence ran around the property, I just thought maybe I could put some kind of electricity on top of it as a deterrent. So what I did is I took a piece of 2-inch PVC pipe and stripped it down the middle, cut it, ripped it on a table saw all the way down the middle, so it sits right on top of the fence. And before I actually put it on the fence, I cut some holes, put some zip ties, and this wire right here, a rope, is equine poly rope, so for horses and electric fences. And I just kind of zip tied it, made little holes, and then zip tied it to the PVC, and then come back with another zip tie and zip tied it to the top of the gate. So you can see, and I just jump it with these red cables, clamp cables, to another electric line I have coming off of my electric fence that runs along that fence. I just kind of got it ran over here with insulated wire, even to this little gate, same thing, to keep the dogs from jumping over. It's nothing to do with the pigs or sheep, they won't jump over or even try. But there is no electric that goes to the gate. It is electrified, the fence is, but there's nothing going to the gate right now because it's insulated by the plastic. However, when we first walked up, we heard a little crack and the dog was barking. What that is a little wet today. So I'm gonna hook it back up, at least this gate right here. And if there's water getting through the holes where the zip ties are, and this is what I learned after the fact, so next time I make more, I won't do it this way. I'll change up how I'm connecting the wire so I don't have to put holes in the PVC. But if there's water getting in the hole where the zip tie is, the electricity can travel through the water into the metal on the fence, and it will arc like it's hitting something. Like what you just heard right there. Kind of cool how he gets excited and worked up over that little click. But maybe he remembers, because I'd say there's 2 livestock dogs in here, and both of them have probably put their paws on it, maybe twice. At least where I noticed, but I think they pretty much, even when it's not turned on, they're scared of it because of the white, or they relate it to getting shot maybe to the white. I'm just kind of taking an educated guess on it, but most of the time I don't even have it hooked up, especially if I know it's raining, because I know it will arc on the gate. But if it's dry out and maybe they got into the yard, I'll hook it back up and then they'll learn again. But generally speaking, they don't come in the yard anymore. They stay back with the animals. So this is a fix for a gate that's easy for your livestock dogs to get out of their patrol zone or area of responsibility, whatever you want to call it. But the only thing I would do different next time is not put the holes in the PVC near the poly wire. And outside that, it works great. And there's even some gates on the farm that I don't even have this on, just because I don't have this contraption put on top of the gate. I just have the gate railing painted white with white spray paint in on the side that I don't want them to come from. And they really don't jump over it anymore. So it's kind of, I guess the goal is to get them to learn the white, and the white being a gate that you can't go through. But there's a bunch of other gates in the pastures that I kind of want them to be able to go through, in case I have animals, livestock in different paddocks. They can go from one paddock to the other to do their jobs. But like I said, there's just like the house yard, I don't want them in there because they're chasing the pets, and if I have the chickens in the yard without Polly net, I'll try to play with them. Anyway, that's a fix for that. You just gotta have electric if you're gonna do this to teach them. They just, they put their paws, they reach up to pull themselves over, put the paws on it, give them a little shock, and they back off, and they start to figure it out.